Let's get the party started here of the February 7th, 2024 Water Sewer Commission call to order. Everybody's here. Commissioners Public Forum. Anybody here for that? All right, hearing nobody there for that, let's go on to the minutes, warrants, and abatements.
All right, a motion to approve the minutes of January 16th, 2023.
I'll make a motion as printed.
Second.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Ms. Cantwell.
Aye.
All right, motion to approve the warrants in the amount of $99,273.39.
I'll make a motion. We approve those as printed.
Second. Roll call vote, Sue, please.
Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
All right, we also have senior abatements, motion to approve the senior abatements flat and metered totaling $832.95.
I'll make a motion. We approve the senior abatements as printed.
Second.
Second, okay. All right, Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
All right, Vinnie, you're up.
All right, I'm covering the monthly operating report for December 2023. The plant was staffed by myself, Grant Krisiak. We also had a new O&M tech start. His name's Zachary Campbell. And so far he's working out great. We also had Amy Nassus here to be the administrative assistant. We completed Veolia's monthly inspection in December. Health and safety, we completed all of Veolia's requirements for 2023. The HRMS assessment was for confined spaces and lockout tagout, and we also did classroom training and a practical on both of those. We had a slip, trip, and fall injury reduction activity we completed. And then we had a emergency action plan classroom training, and we aimed at the chemicals we work with daily, so we knew a little more about them. Compliance for the month, there was a typo on the MOR. It's for the month of December, there were no exceedances, and it was entered into the CDX on January 15th. Operations and maintenance, we rebuilt one of the polymer pumps, installed the new soda ash feeder at the end of EQ tank 1. We made a ramp so we could drive in and out of the Connex. We used 1/4-inch diamond plate and some framing. On 12/11, the plant flows maxed out and we utilized all the equipment we had. There were no spills or bypasses, but two of the EQ pumps failed during the event. We called LaFleur in to troubleshoot them, and that's when we started finding the shorted out pumps. On 12/18, we had another rain event with 3.5 inches of rain, and it came in a pretty short period. The plant began to overflow at about 11 a.m., and we estimated 85,000 gallons went into there's a catch pond before the stream, and it went into there. We stayed here well into the night using a 3-inch trash pump we have. We had to refuel it every hour and a half to keep it running. The sample lines, we insulated them for the cold weather so they didn't freeze. We haven't had any issues collecting samples, and we didn't want to. We installed a new cherry picker for pulling the EQ pumps. I had purchased those earlier in the year, and it was about time to use one. On 12/20, we ran the 3-inch trash pump all day just to keep up with the flow coming in the plant. December, we received a lot of water into the plant. It was every day we flowed well over 100,000 extra gallons. The sludge tanks, tank 4, we pulled the mixer out. We planning on replacing it while LaFleur was here. And we got it out and found it just had some debris in it. We cleaned that out and got it back going, so we dropped it back in. Comag sludge pump 1 stopped working. When we took it all apart, the plumbing had some plastic pieces in it. So when we get those high flow events, the water actually bypasses our headworks and goes through a bar rack. And the bar rack has 1-inch bars. So anything smaller than 1 inch across will go right through. So a lot of stuff gets through during those high flow events. The collection system activities, we collected the MTA samples on the 5th and the 17th. During one of the rain events, Glen Echo Shores had a tree come down across the road and it took power out for a few days. So we weren't able to get to the pump station. That was on the 18th. All the weekly rounds to the pump stations were completed. We met up with the sales rep from the Wet Well Wizard Company, and he wanted to take measurements for the Route 20 upgrade so they could get the right equipment ordered for that project. We hauled 7 loads of sludge to Cranston for disposal. We received 4 skids of soda ash. Those are 2,700 pounds per skid. There was a whole bunch of grinder pump calls. We did one at 40 Stevens Park Road. It was an old system. We had Ed LaFord Electric out there to upgrade it. We went to 77 Old Worcester Road. There was grease on the floats. We went to 187 Sunset. The panel was cracked. We scheduled Ed LaFort to replace that one. 88 Glen Echo Shores, we adjusted the floats. 235 Sunset, greasy floats. And 111 Sunset had a bad check valve on the pump. We replaced it. That's the end of the MOR for December 2023. So there's a couple other topics I wanted to cover tonight, just briefly. We had talked previously about the chemical storage building and what we need to do to be in compliance. So I know most of you guys are on phone, so you're probably not even going to see it, but I shared my screen right now. And there's a chemical storage building that represents the one I got a price quote for. And the quote for that building, it will store 4 275-gallon totes of caustic, and it's $69,135. There was a few other options we had talked about. If we're under that 500-gallon limit per building, we're in compliance. So I have some quotes here for another Connex. It's $4,000. To have it insulated is $1,500 per container. And spill containment would be $1,645 a piece. We typically store 2 full totes at a time, so we need 2 places to store them. And then there would be an electrical cost to have heat put in. On the other hand, while I was doing the research on this, I started thinking maybe it would be better if we looked into an alternate chemical. When we were doing the plant upgrade research, they were trying to pitch us on a few different chemicals to use that are safer. And seeing how we already add soda ash in a few spots, I reached out to the vendor that got us the soda ash feeders, and they gave us a quote. They have a different feeder that makes a slurry that could be pumped through our existing equipment. And for that soda ash feeder that would make the slurry, it's $9,210. And then there's another caveat to all of that. The price of treatment. Caustic is 25 cents per pound. And we typically use 11,000 pounds a year. If we were to switch to soda ash for all treatment, soda ash is 43 cents per pound, and our usage would be at an additional 14,000 pounds per year. So it takes more soda ash to do the same job. So I just kind of wanted to lay that out there that I've been digging into stuff and trying to get a solution to our chemical storage so we'd be in compliance. But there's a lot of different ways of looking at it, and I figured you guys might want to voice your opinion on which routes you think might be better. So that concludes that.
Is it possible for you to break that down for our next meeting?
Yes, I just
Like,
kind of wanted to give you guys like all the different things that I've been looking into, and I thought it was real easy. Just, we could compare a Connex to this chemical storage building, and we can build the Connex out to be very similar, pretty cheap. And then I was like, well, we're still handling a pretty hazardous chemical, so let's look at something less hazardous. So I'll have a nicer presentation, but I just wanted to let you guys know I was still working on that and I didn't drop the ball on it.
fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That concludes your stuff, Vinny.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Anybody have any questions with anything? Nope. All right.
Nope.
Moving on to new business, the sump pump violation notice.
I asked Vinny to stay on for this.
Yeah, go ahead, Vinny. Why don't you give them our thoughts on this, and we've spoken about it.
Well, some pumps are an illegal connection. And in my opinion, I think we have a lot of them in the system because every time it rains, we get a ton of influent. And I believe there's a lot of people that just don't even realize it's an illegal connection. So I think a letter campaign might help us get some of them to disconnect voluntarily.
So what we talked about is in the bills that we send out to have them insert this reminder to our sewer users, which is in your packet. So it's pretty cheap to send out,
Yeah.
and so I guess with the approval of the board, I guess a motion could be made so that we could send this letter out.
I'll make a motion, we send out a letter in the sewer bills about the sewer, about the sump pump violation.
I'll
Can I have
second.
a second?
Yep, second.
Any more discussion? Sue, if you could do a roll call vote, please.
Sure. Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Ms. Cantwell.
Aye. Moving on to the 2023 annual report. Sue,
I
you
know.
printed this up?
Yeah, and I'm sure you all read it and love it. So each year, the town puts together their annual report and asks each department to write a little something. Pretty generic. I just need your approval to submit it to Mary so that she could put it in the annual report. Does anybody have
What do
any
you
questions
need?
on what I did?
Motion?
I need
Yeah.
a motion, yes, to approve the annual report.
I'll make a
Need a
motion.
motion to approve
I'll
annual
make
report.
a motion.
Okay. Russ,
Second.
you're getting, okay, great. Peter, who
Second.
seconded?
I'll second it.
I think it was Eric.
Okay, Eric seconded. Great. Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Bernard,
Approve the
Aye.
annual report.
and Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Ms. Cantwell.
Aye. All right, moving on to the gate upgrade at the treatment plant. We've been having some issues with the gate at the entrance to the plant. This winter, it's been jammed up so much that Vinny's had to pull the truck up and use the truck to open the gate. My thought was to have some fence companies come in, and give us a price on an electric gate, so that people have a keypad, they can get in, open it in the morning, have it open for the day, and when we leave, keypad it and have it automatically shut. We have gotten some quotes for that. I believe, Sue, you sent an email today with those this afternoon.
Yes, I did.
There was 2 quotes in there. I'm still waiting for another quote to come in from another fence company. So probably something that we'll talk more about at next meeting. I guess I wanted to let you guys know that that was in works and something that we're looking to do.
So, just to mention that because this is a big ticket of, item, this needs to go to town meeting as a capital, expenditure. So it needs to be approved there. So we're waiting on the quotes and that will go before the town in May. So until May, nothing can be done anyways, because it needs to be approved. So just a heads up.
All right. Moving on to the FY 2025 DEP grant update.
All right, so attached to your packet was Peter Newton's summary of what was completed on Bay Path Road in FY '24. We were contacted by the DEP, the people who oversee the grant, or at least my contacts for the grant. They asked if we were going to be submitting for something for FY '25, which we did with the help of Beta and Peter Newton. So that was submitted. We haven't heard anything back yet. And then we also submitted the summary of what was done for FY '24. So I'm just keeping you
An update.
updated on what's going on with that.
Anybody have any questions on that at all? All right, moving on to the LNG facility walkthrough. Sue and I myself have been working with them to try to get their water privilege fee information. Chris McClure helped us get that. We've got that put together, and in speaking with Chris was speaking with the supervisor down at the facility, and he asked if any of us wanted to take a walk through the facility at all. It is something I'd like to do. I think Vinny wants to go, and so I figured I'd ask to see if anybody else wanted to tag along on that.
Any more than 2 members, we need to post it, right?
Yeah, so we would need a minimum of 48 hours to do that.
If more people than myself and one other person was going to go.
Correct.
Does anybody have any
If no
interest in
one,
going?
if no one wants to go, I'll go.
Okay.
But I'd bow out if any of the other members wanted to go.
Okay. Yeah, so Peter, Eric, if you guys want to go, let me know. And if not, then Russ and I
Maybe
will.
set up a meeting and then see if anyone can make it. And then
Okay.
I mean, my schedule is typically very flexible, other than Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings.
Okay, then I'll set that up and let you guys know what it is, and we'll figure it out. We'll go from there.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
So moving on to old business, managing director, superintendent discussion. Russ, why don't you go ahead with this?
All right, so at our last meeting, we discussed what was going on, and for the sake of this meeting and moving forward with this discussion, we must maintain the discussion not to involve any particular person or employee, which would have to be done in executive session. And this reclassification of jobs and sort of trying to move this, create the position that we want is not germane to one person, let's say. It is how we'd like to see the department run in the future. It is not tailor-made to one person. We believe it's a good role for the sewer department moving forward. We don't, per se, want to continue operating the way we have been. And that's why we've been struggling so hard to get this position created. Now, we are not having a lot of success with getting it created. I have thrown it out there to human resources a few times. Dave has as well. At the beginning, as you guys know, we made several attempts to sort of create a job with job descriptions that it was denied by human resources. And then, you know, they sort of took a stab at it, tried to create a job and a classification that wasn't to our liking. And at this point in time, we have several options. One option is to repost the superintendent's position and re-interview people for that. That's one option. Or the second option is to sit down with the Board of Selectmen in open forum or by way of an appointment and explain to them and show them the time chart that we've actually been keeping that goes over the past 5 or 6 months and shows the back and forth with Mr. Cantwell, myself, and Human Resources, and Andrew a few times, and just showing our frustration in trying to resolve a situation that ultimately will save the taxpayers $100,000 a year minimum and $1 million over 10 years, which I find to be extremely important numbers always in a small community such as ours, never mind going into budget discussions that we're going to be having involving our school system and a lot of other areas, and always lacking funding for even a fire department. So that's the update in a nutshell. I would say that potentially we do both. At a minimum, I would like to have Sue re-advertise the position of superintendent, and just go from there.
Sounds great, Russ. We appreciate the update. Sue, would we need a motion from us to repost the superintendent's job description and position?
Yes, please. Yes.
So
I'll make a
I think
motion
that's
that we repost the superintendent's position.
Second.
So you're talking, Russ, just to confirm, so that was the position that we posted, what was that, in September? That
Correct.
job description? Okay.
correct. Can I get a
All right,
second on that motion, please?
Peter McClam did.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McClam,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
All right. You want to talk about the next scheduled meeting? You want to do that and then,
Yes. How does March 6th work for everybody?
It works for me.
Yeah, that works.
That
All
should
right,
be fine.
March 6th it is.
okay. So, Dave, Vinny, do you have anything to say before we kick you out?
No, I'm good.
I am good as well.
Okay.
All right, guys.
We're
All right,
just going,
thanks,
we're going,
everyone.
we're going into executive session, so you guys need to
Yep.
leave.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, so if someone could make that motion,
I'll make a motion
So-
that we adjourn for the purposes of going into executive session. Do I have to read the entire motion?
Yes.
You do. Yes, you do.
All right, let me,
Wait, before you do that, I just want to stop the recording and start one fresh, okay?
yeah,
Hold on one
Go
second.
ahead.
Okay, so we stay on the same bridge then.
Yes.
Yes, nothing's gonna
Alright.
change. What happens is, I gotta stop this. So it's gonna stay on the same Zoom meeting, and when it's sent over to the cable person who uploads everything, he edits, so he cuts off all the stuff in the beginning and he fades out when it comes to executive.
Got it. Yeah, I thought you sent a separate link for some reason.
Yes, I sent a separate, packet.
Email.
That was, yeah, a separate email with the packet, and it's the same Zoom number. So if someone, Russ, if you want to read that entire thing,
yeah, I'm just trying to find it. Bear with me, guys.
It's at the bottom of the agenda.
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session. Mass General Law, C 1321, and consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real estate if the chair declares that the open meeting may have been detrimental, may have detrimental effect on the on the negotiation position of a public body.
and
Can I get a
then,
second? Somebody second that, please.
I'll make a second.
Oh, sorry, second.
Roll call vote, Sue.
before that, Russ, could you just make the statement about coming out of executive session?
All right,
So the commission will come out of executive session for the sole purpose of adjournment.
all right. The commission will come out of executive session for the sole purpose of adjournment.
All right, Mr. Bernard,
Aye.
Mr. McLam,
Aye.
Jennings. Russ?
Aye.
You there? Okay,
He said aye.
and, okay, Dave?
Aye.